Hey guys, so in this video I together with my companion over here Pink are going to show you how to find the center and radius of a sphere, okay? So you'll be given an equation of a sphere and then we have to find its center and radius. Remember, a sphere is just like Pinko's head, more or less, right? It's got that shape, okay? Although his is a little more flat, so you know. But I hope you've had a great day, and so does he. So let's take a look at what we have. Here comes the mathematics. So you are given the following. Common exercise in calculus, when you first start getting into calculus 3, is x squared plus y squared plus c squared minus 2x, okay, minus 2x, stand over here, buddy, minus 2x plus 6y plus 8z plus 1 equals 0. Okay, now he's looking at this and he's like, okay, that looks a little scary at first. Okay, so what are we going to do to handle this? He knows, he's done it before. We're going to apply the technique of completing the square because this will show us the center and radius of the sphere. So we are going to complete the square. That is the technique. Well, first, let's do this. Let's gather all the relevant terms together. So for example, x squared should be gathered with your minus 2x. And the y squared should be gathered with 6y positive. And z squared should be with the 8z. And move that positive 1 to the right side so it turns into negative 1. Yes, this is one of the first steps. Now, once this is in place, now we complete the square on each of x, y, and z. So we have to do 3 completing the square applications. Now I'm going to switch to a brighter marker. So first let's begin by completing the square on the x. What we have is x minus 1/2 of the 2, so that's minus 1. So it's x minus, right, 1/2 of the 2 here, so that's minus 1. Square that quantity, and from this subtract the square of the of the 1, negative over here, okay? You have to subtract, or you are changing the equation and you're breaking it essentially. You're changing it into another equation which is just, you know, a little related to the original. Okay, but then becomes a different equation. So you've got to, after writing it in this form, you've got to subtract away the 1. And if you don't, then check. Expand this using FOIL and you will have x squared minus 2x plus 1. That's why you've got to then subtract the 1, so you're not changing anything. Okay, so that's the first one. Now, apply this technique to the y. So your y turns into y plus 3. The whole thing is squared, and then from this you subtract the square of the 9. I'm sorry, of the 3. Okay, so it looks like this. And then the last step, what we do is plus, take your z, 1/2 of the 8, add it to the z, square that, and from this subtract 16. And all of this is still equal as before to negative 1. That hasn't changed. Okay? So now we are very, very close to where we need to be. Okay? What do you say, Pinko? Do you like it? I absolutely do. So hold on. He's got to inspect it. Okay, is there anything here that needs refinement? Let's see. No. Okay, so it looks good. Thank you. It's good to check your work. Okay? So take a step back. Be sure that what you've written is correct, because these problems are fairly involved. So one mistake propagates through the exercise and you've wasted 10 minutes of your life owing to a bit of silliness. So be very careful, that's the point. Now we have the following. X minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared plus z plus 4 squared. And on the right side we have negative 1 plus the 16 plus the 9 plus the 1. Let's simplify further. So x minus 1 squared plus y minus a negative 3. And you will see why I'm writing it this way. There's a reason for doing it this way. Plus z minus a negative 4. And all of this equals, the ones cancel, and 16 plus 9 is 25. So we are just about where we need to be. So let's finish up with the last step that will reveal the information that we need. So we have x minus 1 squared plus y minus a negative 3 squared plus 0 minus a negative 4 squared, and all of this equals 5 squared. Okay? Which means immediately that the center of our sphere can be written down as, that means the point C. That's not a smiley face. Okay. The smiley face is right there, you see? Alright. The center of the sphere can now be read off as x is 1, y is negative 3, and z is negative 4. And the radius of our sphere can be determined to be 5. So this is the procedure, and at this step I chose to rewrite the pluses as minus a negative, because this reveals very quickly that the y is centered at negative 3 and the z is centered at negative 4, but the x is centered at positive 1. Okay? So the center is 1, negative 3, negative 4, and the radius of our sphere is 5. So we are beginning with this form. Apply completing the square 3 times to each of x, y, and z. That's what this step is. Take the constants, move them to the right side, expose, so to speak, the coordinates of the midpoint, and then write down the center and the radius. That's it. So thank you for watching. Have an absolutely amazing day, and don't forget to smile.